Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to another personal readings video. For those of you who are subscribing to my website under the personal readings option, which offers, some financial support in my direction, and in your direction, I have some added energy and intention for your particular path and journey. So if that interests you and you'd like to join this group, I have some slots still available. So that link will be below this video, and you can sign up for a personal reading from myself, and you will join this group. So those of you who are watching this, who I emailed this to, your timestamps should be in the email. And just go to your part in the video after this little preamble and see your message. We're going to be working with a couple different decks of cards. So if you see that other people's readings are slightly different than yours, just know that I've been meditating on your readings and doing this work for all of you for quite a few weeks now. So just trust the cards that I use and trust the direction that I take this, because we're trying to stay completely in the flow and make the healing that I can offer and help you with as smooth and beautiful as possible. So let's get into the first person. I'm just going to write down the time in which we start so I don't have to rewatch this. All right, so the first person we're going to see is Justin. So Justin, I have already shuffled your cards because I have had to re-film a couple times to get this all sorted out right. I'm trying a new technique of filming, so took a couple tries. But I have a message for you to be of assistance now on your path for this personal reading. So the first card that I see, we actually got quite a few cards for you. This is not usually my intention when I do readings like this, but there's a big message. There's a lot of details here that I guess you need to be aware of. And yeah, most of these cards are upside down actually. So that's just a lot of energy confusion here. So I'm going to try my best. Okay. This is a very complex message. So clearly, you need to hear this. So the first card that I see is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is in charge of money matters, basically. Either you're spending too much or you're not spending enough, basically. But usually with this card, it means, hey, your finances are probably tight right now. If you're feeling financially or abundantly tight right now, that is the energy that you need to focus your focus on in healing. That's an area of healing for you. So focusing and obsessing on not having enough, or when people get pushed to a point where the things that they had or the luxuries and the needs and so on have been taken away, they turn back to spirit. And it is a way and a technique in our archetypes that people get pushed back into their spiritual development because, you basically are praying for help. You're in a situation, you've tried it all, doing it your way, the logical way, the way you've been taught, the way your grandparents did it, the way your parents did it, all these ways. And it's, you're still you're not feeling that level of grounded abundance. And so it's to turn back into faith and put your practice back into faith in the one infinite creator that you are and the divine plan that is all around you. Kind of open your eyes a bit more to that. So the next card that I see, okay, I am going to flip all these over because I'm getting the message that that's okay. So the next card that I see is the Emperor card. So really big juxtaposition between these two guys. Like this guy is basically like, oh man, we're broke. We better go to church and pray. We need to ask for help. And this guy's like, yo, I have everything handled. The businesses are booming. Life is good. All throughout the seasons, we have command of the universe in the divine masculine sense. So whatever it is that maybe you're feeling broke about or you have been investing in for your business and you haven't been seeing those things, this is an excellent card to show you that these things are going to turn around, and it's going to be through your own embodiment of the divine. And so again, tap into your spirituality, pray, get some clarity there and meditate. Don't allow anything to feed off of your fears of lack, because it's just going to feed off of you forever. So you have to completely realize that you are absolutely abundant. Every single item and every single particle that you see around you is you. So you are wealthy. There is no wealth outside of yourself. All the wealth is yours in the entire universe. multiverse, multidimensional reality. It's all yours. So feeling that great wealth is kind of like this feeling. And that's the feeling that makes you go, yeah, I have everything that I need to get going. And it looks like you're going to be going into smoother waters in your life. So if you have been struggling with anything, you've gained all of the knowledge, which is swords here. Knowledge is the air, it is the intellect. And you've gathered all these swords, you've gotten in your boat, and you've paddled yourself out of the reeds. So you've learned what you needed to learn. So now you're going to be focusing now on the King of Pentacles energy. So this is like the richest king, other than the Emperor, which is a major arcana archetype of the divine masculine. This is a minor arcana card, but it is the highest card of the Pentacles again. So the Pentacles, you had 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles is a material realm. It's the earthly plane. It's the earth element. So this is the king of the earth element. So you're going to have your estate figured out. You're going to have you're going to reevaluate and appreciate and then continue to foster and maintain and grow your investments and your estate, as I would say. And it looks like you're going to be delivered some good news about a potentially like a marriage or a birth or an engagement or some other type of really awesome celebratory event like that that'll make your emotions like really high, really excited. And okay, and then finally, the last 2 cards here are interesting. So we see the 4 of Pentacles here, a lot of Pentacles energy with you today. So a lot of earthly shifts are going to be happening. This is going to be more stuff in your immediate life, more stuff in a tangible, touchable way. And so this guy is literally, as you can see, he's clutching his stuff way too close. Like, it's funny how you've got the card of maybe don't spend too much. And then this is the card after this good news comes in, you're going to have more resources than you actually thought you had. And you remember being broke. So you're like, ooh, I don't want to spend these because if I'm broke again, that's going to suck. And it's like that fear of being broke again in the future is what could manifest that for you again. So you need to have full confidence in your resources that you've been given by the universe and just like, treat yourself. Ding. Treat yourself, love yourself. Treat yourself, love yourself, give to those who are in need as well, and you will clear out that energy, that stagnancy. The flowing of abundance is going to keep happening in a much smoother way. And finally, you get the Star card, which you can see this woman's kind of kneeling in the water. The water represents the subconscious. This represents those old, basically your whole dream, all your good dreams and all your bad dreams, all the programming and all of the solutions as well to the programming, all kind of percolating. And so she's kind of stirring up the water with these like vases and so on. And she is the star. The star is shining. The star brings healing. The waters talk about emotion, and she's playing with it. She's working with it. She's working with it. She's working with these energies of the subconscious. And in doing so, she's healing the water. She's healing the energy there. And so that is the final card. So I think all of this stuff about the abundance and about financials and stuff, especially, but there is emotional news in here, and there's also like you getting out of a tough situation, like things are hard, but it's going to get better now. And this is on a global level as well, as what I've been hearing. Due to the global situation, things are going to be getting better in April and March, April, into the summertime. This is a really bountiful spring of good energy. So you're going to be healing all of these fears and these discomforts you've been going through. Those things are going to be healing, and you went through those things because you were deprogramming techniques that you had in the past to deal with these problems. And some of them are toxic techniques, like suppressing your feelings and not speaking your truth, and I don't know, binge eating or things like that. Like those types of things. Those things you've been slapped in the face with problems. All of your toxic traits to deal with problems didn't work. And then you've learned new ways to actually responsibly and in a more conscious way approach your life. And those techniques are going to last. Those techniques are going to stick with you because you went through so much to freaking, deal with them. So that is the end of, okay, No, it's not. There's one more card I want to give you, and it's going to be a crystal inspiration. So if you don't own this crystal, maybe go ahead and visit a crystal shop and maybe get whatever crystal I'm going to pick for you. All right. So this is going to be the crystal that's going to aid you most. Rhodonite. Find a way to forgive is the message of this one. So it's going to help open your heart, heal your heart chakra, and allow you to forgive all those transgressions and BS that has, stuck with you. You haven't forgot the BS. This stuff, this crystal is literally going to help you do that. So if you've been having a hard time letting go and forgiving people for being dumb in the past, or, situations for just being stupid, and you just don't want to forgive them for being that way, it's time. And to be able to bring in that abundance and keep the flow coming and the good vibes coming, you have to keep putting good vibes out there. And that includes into the past and into your situations in the past. So you have to get a positive spin on every bad memory that you have. And that's the key. And that's called alchemy. So you're basically going to be doing your own alchemy. In psychology, they do the same thing. And in hypnosis, they bring you back to situations and then they tell you something new or something better about the situation. And that becomes the new core memory of that situation. And you get to do that to yourself as well. So whatever it is you're having a hard time forgiving, grab one of these crystals, hold it in your hand. You don't have to do anything with it. Just have the crystal on your skin, touching you in your pocket, but really in your hands are the best. And work with it, touch it on your face, touch it on your chakras, touch it wherever you feel. Just play with it all day for as many days as it takes. And then really, whenever you do like consciously remember you're holding this crystal, just be like, okay, any situations that I need to be forgiving about. And then you may have a recollection and it may give you the strength you need to finally forgive. And you wouldn't think it, but crystals really do have a lot of strength and power. So that is my recommendation to you. And I guess we will see each other. We will see each other next time when the universe calls me to do another reading for all of us and offer some support. And thank you again for the support that you've offered me, your energetic support. I appreciate it so much, and it has helped me do even more than when you started supporting me. So thank you very much, Justin, and I wish you all the very best, of course, and I'll see you next time. All right. So next person on the list is Hal. Thank you, Hal, for coming to my website, ascensiondiaries.com, and investing in my work. Every little bit counts, and in return, I have mustered up the energy to cultivate a message about some information that will serve you personally on your life path. So big privilege, big gift. I'm going to be offering this gift all of 2021. It's going to be awesome. So these updates are going to be, heading your way all this year. So let's see what you need to know this time of the year here. Dear Source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Hal. What is it that Hal needs to know at this time in their life that would be of service to them on their personal reading here? How may these cards, may I be of service to Hal at this time? What is it that Hal needs to hear most? Okay, excelente. Wow. Okay, so it looks like, it's a major arcana card. I was like, you only got one card, and it made me work for it too. So I'm like, this is going to be a powerful card because it's probably going to have me speak more than, look at cards. So, okay, Hal, if you are unfamiliar with the major arcana of the Strength card, this is an excellent representation of it, in my opinion. I love these cards. And so the main message of this card is you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. So you can Your strength lies in your ability to be sweet and loving in moments where, other beings who are more controlling or service to self would tighten the chains and tighten the control and use violence and use manipulation to um, basically get some other being or situation to serve them. And as you can see here, this is a beautiful woman with a light, like very kind of fancy leash or chain around this giant lion. And they're just vibing together, like he's just rocking it next to this lady. There's no way that this lady could have wrestled this lion down and got a harness around its neck, basically. So the message is that this woman, this divine feminine energy, was able to basically, through her gentleness and her love, able to um, invite a lion to be her friend, and the lion trusts her, and so now the lion rolls with her in her group, basically, like they are a team now because the lion likes her and she likes the lion, and they have a good, healthy, sweet relationship with each other. And so the energy is asking you to be strong right now. It's asking you to be the strong one. And you may be tired. You may be sick of being the strong one. I've heard it many times, especially when this card comes up. It usually comes up in a time of struggle when you are going to need to be strong, but you want to just give up, basically. It's very common. At least this may not be what you're going through right now, but with the readings I've done, and when this card all by itself comes up, it's like, okay, I know you want to have somebody else rescue you. I know you want someone else to deal with this situation, but you have to take those breaths. You have to get into your center and back to your nuclear power plant of energy that's constantly pumping energy out from you, and tap into that and be the strong one that you know you can be in the group, because no one else is probably telling any of the people you hope will step up to be strong. You're the one that went out there and signed up to get monthly readings, or at least personal readings on a regular basis. And this reading's like, yo, you got to be the strong one. You got to be and you're the spiritually strong. You have to be the strong and nice. You got to be nicely strong. That's the fun part. You can't strong arm everybody. You're going to have to figure out a way to say it in a nice, like honey. Be like honey, and you want to attract the flies to your honey, and then your work is done. So to attract good energy to yourself, to attract strength to yourself, I'm going to do a reading of crystals. I'm going to take from my crystal deck and see what crystal that you can work with to help you cultivate this strength while these struggles are occurring. And these struggles aren't going to last. Like, obviously, you're going to be able to get through this. If you're getting the strength card, it means you have the strength already to push through and like be the strong one in this scenario. So, dear source, man, please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Hal. All right, so you've got 3 crystals here to recommend for strength, and their short message as well. A lot of blue energy. So a lot of like higher heart and blue energy. You're going to be doing a lot of work with this area. You're going to be strengthening this area. So maybe it is you need to be strong and speak your truth, even though it will be loving. These crystals may help you. So first, this one's more like third eye and heart chakra crystal. This is called azurite. Here you go. It's got all these colors in there, but that dark blue color in there is the good stuff, and that's third eye. And this one says, get laser focused on what it is that you want to manifest in the world. And if your dream, like, what is your dream? Is it for planetary liberation and galactic freedom and exploration and fun and happiness for all? Get laser focused on that. Make sure that that's where you're focusing your energy. That's all the decisions you make in a day goes towards that dream as much as you can. And that is how you manifest. The next one is angel light. This is a good one. Very light blue color. Again, that makes me think of the higher heart chakra. they say, angel light, and it says support is all around you. So again, it's called angel light for a reason. So you may not, I don't know how comfortable you are with the term of guardian angels or angelic support, but there are beings who resonate in a higher frequency than us, which means they are closer to the frequency of source in a way than we are in this density. And those beings, you know, they look over you. They're bored. Their joy in life is helping beings who are asking for help. They wish to be helpful. And so if you need help, if you're like, please, angels, guardian angels, guides, higher self, source, I require this strength. Please, sir, like, please support me. And I need some extra support right now. I need some assistance. And to say it verbally out loud, which is again, the blue energy buzz of speaking your truth, you must speak it out loud into the hologram for it to bounce back at you. This voice box is your manifesting tool, and also the permission slip that you need to sign to get any help from angels, to get any help from the universe. And you got celestite too, which is again another one to contact your angels. So your angels are coming through really strong right now. And what is angels? It could be your ancestors. It could be people who've passed on you've never even met, but they are here to be of support to their bloodline and to their friends as well. That maybe you were friends with this person and they chose to stay as an angel and you chose to come back to be an angel, boots on the ground angel. And so celestite, I should say, celestite, you get that, is to soothe your soul. But I know it as another one to contact angelic beings. So it's interesting. So this one's going to soothe your aura as well. Look at how beautiful. These colors are very soothing. This very light periwinkle kind of blue color. It's very soothing to the soul. It's a very spiritual color as well. So this is again more about tapping into your spirituality, your spiritual strength, and that shall soothe you because you realize, oh, there are legions of angels just waiting to step in and be of service. They just need my permission. And so I'm offering that advice to you right now. If you would like to speak it out loud, Hal, and be like, yes, benevolent support, I give you permission to help me right now. And I promise you it's going to be showing up. And the more you ask for it, the more it'll show up. So usually you just have to ask once. For me anyways, I get push, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can ask for help. And then I do, and then I don't even think about asking help for a lot longer. And then finally I get push down and I'm struggling again. And then I ask for help and then the help shows up. It's more about surrender and surrendering control. And that's why we get pushed, in my opinion, is to remind you that you aren't in control of everything right now. So yeah, that is the culmination of your reading, Hal. Thank you again for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one with hopefully some different and better news. We'll see how things have progressed since then. And yeah, thank you again so much. I appreciate you. I hope that really helped. All right, so next person is Jos'b or Mowgli. So let's get into it. Dear Source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Jos'b. What is it that he needs to know at this time that would be of service to him? With these cards. Okay. Literally like this much, so many cards just fell out when I said that. Okay, well, that's fine, a lot of cards to tell you, a big message. I know you've been going through it, so I'm going to respect it, and I'm going to do this whole reading with you because they do look different from the last pile I got, so at least I know that they're shuffled and everything's good. So you got a big message, so just strap in, okay? So I'm just going to take a glass of water. I'm going to actually clear my field with some smoke as well. So I'm just going to reset my energy to prepare for this channel. I'm already out of water. I need more water. All right, we're going to take it easy with a little bit of lavender incense here. Calm things down, get back to the divine, get some crown chakra energy going. All right. Very nice. Feels good. Okay, so let's get into this. First card that I see is the Five of Cups, which is somebody who's mourning a loss. They're mourning a loss. They're mourning an old relationship. They're mourning an old hope or dream or expectation that they had with another person or with another event. So it's not, you're not losing control or mourning your life or in general. Like, these are specific relationships, emotional investments. That's what cups represent, our emotional investments. And at some point in your life, those cups may have been filled with some really good, yummy juice, and it was a really great investment. And now those cups have fallen over. They've spilled over. They're empty. They no longer have anything for you. And sometimes, you know, when that cup that juice was so good, and you're like, dang, you're sad because you're like, I wish I had that again. I'm sad that it's gone. And a lot of us have had family members die, and we feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, I miss my grandmother, but I had to mourn her loss. Her cup in this, you know, reality, it was done. And so that's an extreme example, but I'm just saying there are some stuff I'm being pointed at, that there's some stuff that you've yet to let go, and you're missing out. You're missing out. The message of this card really is that you're missing out on relationships that you still have, and opportunities, emotional investments that you still have, that are still active and could really use your attention. And so the next card that I see is the Magician card. So this talks about you having all of the tools already, which you are the one, an infinite creator. So you have access to everything. And this is just a reminder of that. Like, hey, and in this life as well, like all the things that you've managed to accumulate and accomplish and learn again and remember in this life and create new in this life, all of those skills that you've earned and learned have been for a reason. And it's so you can embody this magician energy when it comes to this new idea and opportunity that's going to be coming into your life. So you have the ability to totally heal yourself first, for one. And then it looks like you're going to be maybe possibly having a moment of doubt where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, when this idea or this new creative, this new magic wand, this new creative tool, creative endeavor, this fire is going to light you up again, and it's going to come in through a phone call, a text, could be on Telegram, could be whatever, you know, it's going to be through some type of communication, could be a letter in the mail. But for most part, whenever I get this card, it's always like an email or a call or a text to be like, hey, do you want to be on my show? Or, hey, do you want to do this? And just be like, yes, I do want to do that. And if you're having any feelings like you can't, you can. And finally, not finally, what am I saying? You've got like 5 more cards. I guess maybe finally with that note, we're going to restart. This is definitely a different energy. So this is energy here that's basically, it's similar to the 5 of Cups. Like, you can see this guy's literally laying face down on the ground, and the deer is walking up behind him being like, you okay, bro? Are you all right? This is somebody who did a binge, like went down the rabbit hole at 2 a.m. for the last like 5 weeks. And they've learned basically all these new things and all these new truths about the universe. And the truths they've been heavy. They've been difficult to process. And this could be like lies, cheating, horrible, horrible things that you've learned about that have made you just be like, yeah, you just like have to process all of that intensity, all that awareness and truth. You know, we all want the truth, but the truth can be very heavy, especially after how disillusioned things have gotten, how bad it did get. It's taking layers and years to clear this stuff out. So don't feel bad. Just know that your spirit guides are with you, and me included. Like, I am this little deer in your life, like being like, yo, are you okay, bro? And I'm glad that you also talk in the Telegram chat and talk about all these things that do go through your mind, because this is going to be healing all these truths. And, you know, it could even be like somebody, you know, who's in your intimate life, who's lied to you or betrayed you. That stuff happens all the time. And it's just another doorway being like, okay, that door is closed and a new door is going to open. And the deer have your back. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, go out into nature and see what animal guides come and cheer you up and talk to you and give you a little bit of a reminder that you are the infinite creator and that you're also that bird, and like there's other things going on. You can't obsess over another very distorted, toxic human lying or cheating you, because very likely they have been lied and cheated to most of their lives, and they just think that's how it's supposed to go. And you can tell them that that's not how it's actually supposed to go, and then you can go, see you later. The next card is the Three of Pentacles. So this is you basically beginning. This is maybe you like with 1, 2, 3 YouTube videos done. Like you've just finished editing your third YouTube video or whatever it is, your third didgeridoo. And you're like, I'm pretty darn good at this. I'm getting pretty good at this. And I think I'm going to actually sell one of these or a couple of these to then so I can get supplies so I can make more. And then you begin this process of becoming a creator being, supplying something to the community, and also receiving the wealth back to keep creating more. And so that's really good energy for you to continue looking into. I then see the Knight of Swords, which in this context is kind of interesting. So I'm actually going to look at this one. Okay, the Knight of Swords is the only one showing his sword. It's the only knight in the deck showing his sword, representing his ability to take fearless action. So you're wielding this guy's wielding a sword, taking fearless action. It's raised to the observant owl, representing wisdom. There's an owl on here. The job of the Knight of Swords is to teach us to use discernment, to see things as they really are and have the strength to deal with them appropriately. Since doing so is difficult, we may feel highly charged emotionally and create feelings of turmoil, which is true. Some of us who are not that combative naturally, when we do have to raise our sword, it can be slightly uncomfortable, basically due to lack of practice and lack of comfort with that personality of ourselves. And so just become more, integrate this version of yourself, the Knight of Swords, the one that is wise and the one that teaches discernment and the one that sees things as they really are and has the strength to deal with them appropriately. So you're going to do it in a wise, appropriate way, but you're not going to shy away from this situation. You must act as the knight. This is like the white blood cells of your body. If the white blood cells are like, I don't really want to attack that thing, then you're going to get, the whole body's going to get way sicker real fast. So you need to be the white blood cell of your personal life and make sure to deal with and be very discerning about whatever this is. So you probably know what this is. That's all I have to say. The humor, it's like I hear laughing in my head. It's like, ha, 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 ha. Like the angels are laughing. Like, yeah, he knows. Okay, and then you're going to get the Emperor card, which is just like, here you go, babe. Here you go, honey. Here you go, little one, eternal one. Remember that you're this. Remember that you're this guy. Remember this guy? He's pretty great. He's got a staff with the whole solar system rotating on the tip of it, and he's got all of the stars and the star systems in his grasp, in his alignment. He is totally in charge of the mechanics of the universe, the beautiful mechanics of the universe, and whatever projects and whatever, things you want to now build into your life, you're going to have all the success in doing so. So don't doubt yourself for a second. You are this guy. Like you got this. So build it, do it. And finally, whatever this is, it looks like you have a lot more to give than most people. And so that's why you are going to be creating. That's why you're going to be overflowing to people, because they just have less energy and less capacity than you do. And so that energy is naturally, the community starts stepping in and being like, hey man, I need help. And you're going to be like, yo, here's some help. because I got plenty. And maybe this is all didgeridoos. Maybe this is all just quality time. Whatever all of these pentacles are, it could be apples. Like maybe you have 100 apple trees in your backyard and you're going to be like, yeah, I've got enough apples for me, so everyone else can have apples. That's kind of like that type of energy. So cut out the old energy and begin to foster the new and support the children of the world, because in a way you're becoming more of a dad. In a way you're becoming more of a father, or a divine father, divine masculine creator being on earth. And there's a lot of children, literally a lot of children, or people who are just younger than you, are not embodied in their adult form of masculinity and femininity for whatever reason. They need you. And the archetypes keep replacing themselves. You know, there's always parents and there's always children, and there's always grandparents as well, like the elders. And we all look after each other and share the energy and strengths where they're needed, and hopefully in a most efficient way. We're moving back towards that, but that's the energy I'm getting for your right now from all of those cards. And now I'm going to give you a crystal card for Jos'b. What is it that you need? What crystal can you work with to help you with the until I see you next? Ooh, golden healer's quartz. This is the best because you can go outside, and find golden healer's quartz a lot of the time. I love collecting gold quartz pieces. Mostly I find them in round pebbles. This is like a chunk that's got chiseled off of, a quartz deposit in a mountain somewhere, I'm sure. But golden healing quartz is like one of the easiest to find. You find like yellow quartz anywhere where you find quartz, basically. Like, I would challenge you to find your own, basically, because I know they're out there. They're not hard to find. I find it all the time. And it just says, open the door. It says, open the door. Like, look at this little portal right here. Just open the door. Open the door. You know what door you need to open. It's okay now. You can open the door. It is safe. And that is the end of our reading. So thank you again. I'll see you when I see you, of course. And thanks again for being a sponsor and a supporter on the website and keeping me busy. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, so we are going to move to the next lucky person. So this is a new member. Mahlatse. I want to say your proper name right. I prefer to use your guys' proper names, your birth names, the most intimate name that you feel comfortable sharing with me, because I feel like it connects more accurately to your energy. With readings, it makes me feel more aligned with you to be able to like deliver an actual helpful message for you in particular. So, dear source, may I please do a reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Mahlatse? That took no time. Did you see that? That was barely. Okay, let's see. So you've got 2 cards to start from this deck, and then I'll move into the crystal deck after this. So first, of course, oh my goodness, I see 2 queens. You got 2 queens. So we're going to be definitely talking about you, queen. And 1 queen is right side up and 1 queen is upside down. So I'm going to tell you about these energies and my, my interpretation of what these energies are and who these characters are. And then we're going to do a crystal for you. So first of all, the one that's right side up is the Queen of Cups. There she is. So you can see the Queen of Cups always makes me think of the pregnant queen, because she's touching her belly, and that's like the creative center. She's protecting it with her hand and she's mindful of it. And that's again where my hand is going as well. So she's got her cup, which is basically like the emotions of the people, because she is the queen. Her emotions for sure, but it's a whole bunch of emotions in this cup, all of her old past experiences and so on. And then she has her other hand kind of on her hip, but kind of protectively over her womb. And so the message of this card, and there's kind of clouds behind her. It's a little bit dreary. It's a little brighter today, but sometimes it gets really stormy looking. And so the message of this card is you are a queen who is extremely emotionally sensitive. You are an empathic person. You have felt the emotions of people all of your life, and you've had to deal with people not being honest and not being as attuned to their own emotions. And it's caused you a lot of anguish and pain. It's caused you to close your heart and protect your womb and protect yourself from the energy of other people because you're so sensitive to it. And you're so sensitive. If anybody's ever wronged you, that is like, potentially really messed with you for many, many, many years. And we really need to address that because the theme of this card is basically that you're, I would say not the negative, but the advice is that you're a little bit too closed off emotionally from other people. And it's okay to be cautious and take tips and tricks on how to kind of protect your energy field while working with people whose emotions are just like spraying out of them like crazy. Like putting your hand on your womb is probably a good idea. Wearing crystals, like I wear crystals over my womb now a lot of the time to go out because I notice that is actually an area that I want to protect myself. And I do. And so, yeah, there is a lot of memories, but you really just want to help people. The Queen of Cups is the empathetic one. She's the healer. She's the doctor. She's the nurse. She's the psychic. She's the empath. They are the ones that can understand the waters deeply and get a whole ocean of information out of a person, basically. So your abilities are being attuned. You are in the strength of being the Queen of Cups. And yeah, just be careful not to write anybody off or like stay in crappy emotions about a situation in the past or like completely lose faith in everybody because I've done that myself. And it just doesn't work out because you just become bitter and sad and it just comes back and bites you years later. So you're going to have to forgive everybody for being a noodle and just be like, yeah, don't let any old person's opinions or energy just overwhelm you and totally smear you like maybe you did in the past when you were naive. You can be more protective of yourself now. So what is also interesting is that the next card is the Queen of Pentacles upside down. So right side up, the Queen of Pentacles is the woman who you would trust to run a business for many, many, many years. She's the woman you would trust to have a giant estate, multiple houses around the world, or running Airbnbs, or running a company, or she's in charge, and she's going to make your investment grow gradually over time and only make you richer and richer by just putting in the good work, putting in the hard work it takes to continue cultivating the land, and then every harvest gets bigger and greater. And that is the skill of the woman, the Queen of Pentacles. But with this energy being reversed, okay, I'm getting that you are having, I would say, maybe having a hard time engaging with this aspect of yourself right now. The version of you that will work on something for 5 years and knowing that after 5 years, it's definitely going to grow and it's definitely going to look nothing like it did in the beginning, but it's going to take the hard, consistent work to slowly build this thing. And in 10 years, all of that work that you saw at 5 years, it should have doubled. And it's just this being the consistent workhorse in your life towards a goal that you have. And as a woman, as well, this divine feminine energy, the goal of creating home and wealth for the home and for the children and for your parents when they get old too. It's kind of like thinking about creating that space for a community to be healthy and to grow. For an example to offer is when I started my channel, I knew somehow inherently that I wasn't going to rise to fame or anything like that. super fast. I wasn't going to grow, become a millionaire or whatever overnight. I knew some people can, but I knew that that wasn't what I wanted from this path. What I wanted was to work on it slowly and let it be my medicine to heal me and become more of who I am. And over these, just committing to working on it every single day, new things come up and I get a lot more time to really investigate the little things, because they become huge things because everything's going much slower than, other companies. This is the slowest energy, the pentacle energy. And so, but it's like that smile, like this little smirk that she has on her face, basically like holding her pentacle, like, yes, doubt me now, but when you guys are all taking risks and losing your bag doing, risky business or changing your minds, I'm not going to be changing my mind. I'm going to be growing this wealth for the rest of my life. And my estate and my property and all of my material wealth is only going to grow because I'm going to make it a priority to continue to grow it every single day. And that's what I've done with my channel. And it has grown very slowly. It has been 5 years now. I've been saying 5 years for like the last 2 years because I feel like I've been in a time loop, but it's officially been like 5 years since I've actually, like this month, really, since I've actually started my blog. And it's just now, in my opinion, I have just now grown to be ready for more responsibilities and more, to have reign over more land and over more people and over more influence and responsibility. And my resource that I'm cultivating is, in a way, people and the internet and connections to people. And that's what I've chosen to make my garden out of. But if you want to make a literal garden, like, now is the time. And eventually you're going to have trees that are producing fruit, which takes like 15 years when you're growing a tree. Some trees, it takes a long ass time for that tree to actually make fruit. But if you just, you still have to take care of the tree for 15 years before it gives you fruit for the rest of its life. And trees they can be pretty old. So it's that kind of energy, if that comes across right. But you are very much a queen. And that is biggest statement out of this reading for sure, is that you are for sure queen. And this queenly energy is only just being remembered and refined, and all the stuff that's not you and is not your prime vibration, you are now having that discernment ability, being like, nope, nope, nope. And purifying your queenliness back to, as well as your past, but also you came here to write new codes and write new things for your estate of us as a soul. Your knowledge and your soul growth and experience is really the biggest wealth. At least if you're a spiritual person, that's what spiritual people believe, is that the greatest wealth is just soul experience and the variety of life, basically. It's just your meanings of everything. So now let's see what Crystal's going to help you out. Okay, let's see. Who does she need to work with to integrate her queenly self, to balance her queenly self? Okay, that's a lot of crystals. So at least you get a lot of options here. So I'm going to tell you what all these are and what they say really fast. And then just work with whatever ones of these you have. And if any of these cross your fancy, like maybe go and pick up one of these crystals, because they really work. So first we have apophyllite, which says stay positive. Stay positive. Positive attitude always wins. Never be the pessimist in a situation. You don't want to be that. It's the best experience to be the optimist in a situation, because what can people say? They'll just be like, oh, you're being optimistic. You're like, it's a reality I want to build. The next one is amethyst. Probably you have amethyst. Trust your intuition, it says. So yes, queenliness. You need to trust. Queen of Cups even. You really need to trust your intuition, because you have an excellent intuition. As part of your skills is why the people are like pushing you to queen status, because your skill of intuition is so good. They're like, yeah, her opinions are going to help us out. Shungite is the next one for detoxifying your life. So you know, take a little bit more of space from the technology and get some shungite, get a shungite necklace and put it over your heart chakra. Because the EMFs and stuff from the devices, they mess with our hearts, in my opinion, the most, which makes sense. If your heart is the most magnetic part of you, electric and magnetic, technically. So yeah, protect that heart space. The next one is pyrite, which you can actually get in the river valleys of, you know, of hometown. You can get pyrite. It's in small doses, fool's gold, in the river valley and White Mud Creek, I think it's called. Pyrite. Let the money flow in. Ooh, yes. And nothing brings money in better than going on your own crystal hunt and engaging with raw crystal out in nature, because that's like real money. That's like real nature's bounty, and it's amazing to like remember what that really is and have that in your hands and be like, yeah, I'm worthy of this. This is amazing. And then finally, a hematite for grounding. So you're going to be grounding yourself too. So get a big old chunk of hematite and make sure you have hematite around you. Sleep with it on you. Put it in your pockets. If you're ungrounded, get some hematite. Biggest pieces that you can. Again, you can find it in nature, but if you can't, hematite's one of the least expensive out there. So you can go and support a crystal shop if you want. All right, that is the end of our reading. So I am going to leave you with, one second here, a big thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, so the next person is Tessa. So I'm just going to write that down. All right, Tessa. So here we are again. Another reading for your personal journey. Thank you again for all of your support. And yeah, seriously, so much support. And I'm really enjoying getting to know you. And so let's see what the cards have to say for you for right now. Dear Source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Tessa. What is it that Tessa needs to know at this time that would be of service to her path? What is it that Tessa needs to know at this time that would be of service? All right. Whew, sorry, scared me. Gosh. All right, so I'm seeing the Lover's card face up right now at the bottom of the deck. So the overall energy of this might be about your love life. So we'll see, or at least the energy, the low-key energy here is about your love life, which is interesting because I'm only seeing things about money, but here's some stuff about love over here. So let's start with money. So first cards I see are the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, both of which are pentacles, both of which are the earth element, or traditionally coins, really. So Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is a divine feminine who really has their ability to basically just like consistently work at growing her estate, growing her business, growing her wealth, basically just over time, meticulously working over and working on this thing every single day and just having faith that's going to pay off in the distance, basically. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So in the meantime, well, maybe all of your abundance that you've been, preparing for, because you are a queen of all this abundance. In the meantime, in order to achieve this, you're doing savings, you're investing in work, and you're investing in home with your energy and your money. So you're not spending too much in one area, you're not spending too much in another area. You are skillfully and actively maintaining the balance that you need to kind of juggle your finances, juggle your investments for the future, juggle your investments in the now. So now let's touch on this Lover's kind of reading. It's interesting because I got two piles of cards. So that's the left-hand side. So that was more of the receptive energy. So you're going to be receiving more energy and codes about being the Queen of Pentacles. You may be receiving more responsibilities and more items to like basically grow and cultivate. So more property, more territory to reign over and grow into a harvest, basically, is what I'm seeing. Interesting. Okay, so next we see the Four of Wands, which goes well with the Lover's energy because here they are again with a little one even. And this is a stable energy, a stable, happy energy that the cards offer, thankfully. So basically, it is, you have stability and there is a fruitfulness. There is a life to it. There's life force energy to your creative passion, to your creative endeavors. There is a decent foundation and there is fertility for more to grow, which I'm sure you're already sensing. Then we have the Knight of Wands, which is the guy who delivers you information speedy quick. Like this is the information that fires you up. It fires you up to do something that you normally aren't going to be doing. So I'm going to read this Knight for you. It says, the Knight of Wands sets out with confidence. He tends to bring swift movement to matters with a high level of energy. It may also show somebody taking a long journey or going on a vacation or changing houses, like moving somewhere. But don't be too hasty. Make sure that you take care of the details, because sometimes this fire energy and this swift movement and these swift changes with lots of energy, they can kind of overwhelm us. And so just try not to be too hasty with all of your choices. Like sleep on it if you get that chance, and just be like, okay, make sure that you are as balanced as you can while all this crazy energy is changing and moving. And you'll probably be excited to ride those energies too. So just keep your head about you while those things are happening. I also see the Empress card. So this is the divine feminine energy incarnate, basically. So the divine feminine energy births things. It brings things to life. So looks like something is going to be coming into your life that's going to be changing things. It may even move. You may even move because it's so much change. And it's going to be bringing new life into your existence, which is very cool. And again, I'm seeing the Knight of Cups. So first you have the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Fire, and now you have the Knight of Water, like bringing that all together. And so potentially this could be this, Empress card could be also talking about you embodying your most divine feminine self, where you are a mother, daughter, wife, sister, grandmother, like just enjoying all of those divine feminine archetypes and feeling very grounded in that knowledge that you are a conduit of that energy. And then we have the Knight of Cups, which delivers good news very quickly. Again, the Knights are very fast. They show up and they're like, here you go. Here is something you've been waiting for. And the Knight of Cups talks about emotions. The cups are emotions. So the Knight of Cups basically is like, here is something that is going to make you very emotionally pleased. It talks about, whatever offer is going to be brought to you, it's going to be very exciting for you. It may even be a romantic invitation or a proposal for marriage, but it could also be like really interesting work developments that really fire you up. So I don't know about your personal relationship. Maybe you and I can talk about this more after this reading today, because it does help me in a way to know if you are in a relationship now or if you're not, because then it's easier to interpret the messages. And I actually don't know that about you. So if you're not in a relationship, then I'm seeing relationship energy coming in, buzz. And if you are in a relationship already, I'm seeing that this relationship is going to be growing either way. So keep track of your resources. You're about to be getting more to manage, and it's because you're really good at just being steady and consistent with your business practices, and you have steady, consistent creative ability. And you also have you've basically done so well is that you have now 2 deliveries of more pockets of energy. Some of it's going to be really emotionally exciting, and some of it's going to be super inspiring and like motivating. And that's some really good vibes. There's going to be some interesting energy that you're going to be working with, right? I mean, you are working with right now, and it's just going to continue happening. So I'm going to give you a crystal suggestion to kind of help you with this message, to kind of ground it in. So what crystal would serve Tessa best for this reading? So I got 2 crystals. Oh, looks like I actually got 3. So who's first? Someone already got this one. This is rhodonite. It says find a way to forgive. So we're getting a lot of forgiveness energies. I've been working personally through this a lot of shadow work, basically all of the grudges and the ways I felt about how things worked out in the past, like where I feel like sour about something, anything. And if you really get into it, like I have felt sour about my fair share of things because I feel like it's almost like a bastardized experience. Like feeling sour and bitter about things has become a popular culture preference. And it's terrible because it just bitters your heart, sours your heart, and you make crap decisions the rest of your life. So we need you to be making really smart decisions, really loving decisions. So you need to forgive. You need to learn to forgive all those things in the past that didn't go well. And instead of holding a grudge or feeling sour about them, a way to help forgive them is to reprogram your memory of them, which they do with hypnosis, self-hypnosis, or just like it's just behavioral retraining basically in psychology. So go back to whatever that situation is and remember and like talk to yourself being like, I feel this way and it was like this and blah, blah, blah. Like it sucked. I was screwed over. That person is an idiot. Okay, now you have to go back to the situation again and look for why you were there in a good reason. Find the optimistic reasons why you were put through that. Well, it taught me a lot about people. It taught me a lot of patience, taught me about who I want to be dealing with. And also, I was there to help these people because they clearly need it. And so, even though I didn't enjoy myself, I know that I was put there because I was able to help them. And I will receive, I will receive from that, goodness of my heart that you put out there. That goodness is going to continue coming back to you if you don't put any blockages or hateful thoughts around the situation. And then we have the Amazonite, which talks about loosening your grip. So service to self is controlling the situation. Service to others is kind of, surrendering to the flow of the divine. And so just thought I'd put that out there. Helpful. And then finally, we have sodalite, which is speak your truth. So I know you've already been working on opening up your throat chakra and speaking and being a public person, which is awesome with your opinions. So this is only validating to be like, yo, you're speaking your truth. This is good. Also, to be able to forgive, you need to at least speak your truth to yourself. To loosen your grip over things, you need to be true and speak. What is it you're afraid of losing if you don't have control? Figure out where the fear lies. Whenever there's a shitty feeling, figure out what you're afraid of. And then you can finally heal the situation. So speak your truth, talk about it. Talk about all the things you've been struggling to work through in your solutions. Talk about what really, what situations were tough and how now you think about them or what you did to heal those situations. You can help a lot of people get through their own harbored anger and hatred and fear about certain scenarios and certain choices that they made. Like people may be afraid to trust people because somebody ruined their trust. Can you imagine living your life completely afraid to trust? It means that instigator won over you and took your ability to trust away, or at least, encourage you to take your own ability away. And so you have to get your abilities back and not allow anyone to take any aspect of you away. Be completely embodied in your own power, your own pure frequency that you were, assigned to come here and give to the planet because you were chosen for your vibration. So give us your gifts, speak your truth, and speak it with love. And that's, you're going to heal the world just like all of us. So again, I hope this message was helpful. Glad to be doing personal reading and support for you for all that you do for our community as well. I do see you out there. I appreciate the support and love that you give the community. So I'm glad to be able to be giving you something extra back. I know you get a lot out of what we do too. And this extra thing is just a bonus, I would say. And whenever you feel like you don't want to do these anymore, just let me know. And we can just keep rocking the live streams. and use that energy for that instead. So let me know. But if you liked it, we'll keep doing them. All right. Whoop. All right. So okay. So we have next person is Darren. So let's get into it. Hold on one second. I messed up a little bit here. Okay, let's get into it. For an hour and 5 minutes. I took a break though in the middle. Took a break so we can get more refreshed energies through this whole group reading. Dear Source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Darren. What is it that Darren needs to know at this time that would be a service to Darren? Some cards tried to fly out. There we go. One card. Okay, so you'll probably get more crystal cards because I'm using 2 decks right now. So we'll get to that in a second. But from the traditional deck, you only received 1 card. So again, very direct message for you this round. I'm actually going to read it from the book because apparently that's going to kick us off. That's what I'm feeling I need to do. Interesting. Okay, so it says, a man holding a wand defends his position against 6 others. The open door or the open doorway he appears to defend may represent his home. Therefore, he is defending his own idea, his own ideals. Therefore, his expression is one of great concentration. Although he does not appear perturbed, 7s show the completion of a cycle and can bring changes. Your ideas or beliefs may be challenged, sufficiently for you to feel the need to defend your position. While you may meet with opposition, the 7 of Wands indicates that you can win through in this situation and overcome any obstacles put before you. To do so, you will need to remain calm, have confidence in yourself, and possess the courage to stand up for what you believe in. So if you need any type of practices or support for confidence in the crystal realm, before I draw you a crystal from source, but from my own aspect, Tiger's Eye would be one that will help you basically cut through fear and get that confidence level up for sure. So confidence practices are also mantras with the heart and with the solar plexus. So like happy heart, confidence, 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 and just say it over and over and over until you realize you're smiling, until you feel your whole energy body shifted and you have completed, your realignment. And whenever you start falling out of that, just start with the mantras again. Just be like, I have a happy heart. I'm filled with confidence. I am aligned with the divine will. And that is going to help you when you have moments where you're like, well, maybe my opinion's not right, or maybe I don't deserve my home or my ideas. And it's like, no, you definitely do. You deserve them. And anyone who's going to be fighting you or trying to take it away from you is not going to be successful. So just hold your own, do it nicely, but don't let anybody step all over you. You have the fire within for this particular idea and this belief, and it's supposed to be there. So let's see what other crystal you get. Dear Source. Oh, we got a lot of crystals. Okay, it's time to go crystal shopping. Okay. Angel Aura, which is titanium treated quartz. I call it Angel Aura because it gets all rainbowy, and that's kind of what the style I'm wearing right now. This is definitely my aesthetic, one of these. Embody this, then all your problems are going to be solved. Okay, it says lighten up. So cracking jokes, wearing white and rainbow colors, getting one of these crystals and letting it be a cute little fairy being in your house, when you look at it, you're just like, it's a happy crystal. It makes you happy. So lighten up. You're too dense. You got to lighten up. Remember childhood laughter? Remember having fun? Remember smiling? You know, we got to do that. That is our duty. And the pink opal is next, which is being kind to yourself. Amazing, amazing. Be kind to yourself, please. Be kind to yourself. You love yourself. You know exactly how to love yourself best. And so you got to give yourself a break, because no one else is going to like be there for you other than you. So if you're not even nice to yourself, you're not going to want to be here. So be nice to yourself, and then you'll notice when people aren't being nice to you because they don't make you feel like you make you feel. And then you'll be like, I don't think that person cares about me very much. And that's how you use your discernments, because you have a good quality of how you know you like to feel and be treated and how you love yourself. Am I right? And then we have the malachite is next. Excellent. Malachite. These are all very heart chakra sort of energies, very light, loving energies. This one's a little bit more dense, but all the many layers of the heart, like the many rings of the malachite layers here. Dig deep. It's time to transform. So you're going love Hulk mode is what I think about this. It's like you're transforming into the Hulk with all the gamma radiation, but you're the Hulk, instead of being mad, you're like super happy. You're like a giant angelic Hulk. That's the transformation I sense. I'm a good psychic. Here it is. Tiger's Eye, final one. Yes, very nice, very nice. Good recommendation. Tiger's Eye, overcome your fears. So yeah, get some jewelry or some crystals if you don't have them of tiger's eye, of malachite, pink opal, and angel aura quartz. Combine those. Combine the energies of these guys in your home and make that your practice, crystal practice and vibrational codes that you need to integrate and work with, because you've been lacking in these codes, but these crystals hold these codes. So if you've been lacking, you need to integrate with these crystals, and then those codes will get, upgraded and reevaluated, and your balance in those energies is going to go back. And so that's why crystal magic's so great, because they hold that frequency while you go through your crap, and then you're like, I need to heal. So you just start holding on to your crystal and you're like, yeah. And then for some reason it just works and you don't even have to do anything special. So that's my recommendation to you. And on behalf of the crystal people, we would like to offer you these healings. And that is our reading for this month. Glad to see you back. And yeah, onward and upward. These crystals are great. And go to the crystal store and get these crystals. Put them and sleep with them. Sleep with them around you. Touch them when you're falling asleep. Grip them all night long. I do that. I literally will sleep with crystals in my hands and wake up with them in my hands because I needed it. And so that would be my recommendation, a healing recommendation. Until I see you next time. All right. I'm on to the next person. I'll see you around. Thank you for all your support. As always, I appreciate you. All right. All right, Astrid, you are next. So thank you for joining personal reading group. I'm happy to have you. And onward we go into your reading. Dear source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Astrid. Woo! All right, Astrid. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with readings. I didn't stalk you and try and figure out everything about you because I like doing it this way instead. And so I look forward to getting your feedback on this reading. So if you're familiar with tarot, there is a major and minor arcana. So the major arcana are like life themes. and they're the more intense energies. And then the minor arcana are like minor life themes, more progressive, like steps in through a certain theme with certain energy. So you're getting a major arcana card, the 10 card, and it is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, darling. So what do we see here? We see a lot of gold energy first is what I'm seeing. So the golden energy is more about Christ consciousness, if you're familiar with that or not. But golden energy, it's also about alchemy. It's about alchemizing yourself into a pure light, the purest version of yourself. And so in this alchemy here that you've been doing, the wheel is constantly turning, the wheel of fortune's constantly turning, and it lands on your fortunate time when it lands on your fortunate time. And I'm being lucky enough to be help remind you basically that right now is a fortunate time for you. You should definitely be celebrating whatever fortune that you are receiving in your life right now, and know and like clarify with yourself, like, this is a good time. Like, make a core memory out of this, so you know that you've had good times. Because again, this wheel is going to keep turning. So these good times, they can only last so long. You can only party for so long until you got to take a break. So basically you are celebrating right now. You're celebrating a good time, a fortunate time in your life. And I'm honored to be here to celebrate that with you. Feel that good vibes. It's a different reading from the ones that I've done so far, for sure. So really, really just know that, these good times that you're having right now, this fortune, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, I swear it's going to land on your lap like any second, this fortune. And whatever it's going to be, it could be you win a vacation. It could be that you just like get a week off of work and you just totally do you time the whole time, and you're like a whole new person, and you remember how amazing you are, and you cultivate that golden energy within you. Whatever, something's going to come in and it's going to help cultivate that golden, pure person that you are. That soul without all these layers of crap on it. You're going to be cultivating your soul and celebrating your soul. Amazing. That's a really good reading. So I'm going to recommend a crystal for you to work with to enjoy this time. And there we are. We've got a couple here. Couple recommendations. They each got a message too, but okay. The first one that I see here is very, very green, very much blends into my background here. Like, woo, that's awesome. Great color green, really heart chakra. And it talks about allowing yourself to receive. I mean, yeah, like you're going to be receiving, like you are in reception mode. So how do you receive even better? You just like stop fussing so much. Electric masculine energy is you doing. Receptive feminine energy is you resting, relaxing, recuperating, and meditating. So that it's like the wheel can turn something towards you if you hold still. Does that make sense? So like, imagine a river. It's like being the feminine is like being a giant boulder in the river, and the river brings you what you need. Or like you're a barnacle on the boulder, and all the water floods towards you with all the nutrients that the barnacle needs. And that's the divine feminine energy in a way. And then being a fish, that's like going upstream and trying to find food the whole time and fighting the current and going upstream and hunting and seeking and finding. That is not the energy that you want to be in right now. You want to be receptive. So if you have any chrysoprase, hold it, touch it, sleep with it, spend as much time as you bearably can with it to help you receive. And it'll remind you, like, I'm just going to go lay down and be fabulous right now, or I'm going to go take a bath. And by the time I come into the bath, more things are going to be in my reality. And I've literally proven that works so many times to myself, where you're like, there's nothing else I can do. Like, I'm trying to do things, but there's nothing else I can do. Like I'm exhausted, I have no ideas, and nothing's working. That's when you go, I'm going to take a bath, and the world's going to sort it out, because apparently it doesn't want me to sort it out. So I'm just going to become a rock and let the river flood towards me instead. Yes. Find your calm. Blue lace agate. Blue lace agate. So aren't these interesting cards? So allow yourself to receive, and find your calm, like literally what I was just talking about. So again, psychic points for myself for picking up on that early. I'm really grateful that we had an easy flow together energetically so I could deliver this message for you, because it's definitely nice when it just flows like that, as it usually does. Sometimes it fights me, but right now we're receiving and we're calming down. I want to ask you, and finally, before I finish your reading, I just want to ask you if there's any like show, like TV show, or like a show that you used to watch. Maybe you haven't seen all the episodes, but it made an impression on you as a child. And I would encourage you, if you're having a hard time slowing down and being receptive and like stopping because you need to be busy, I'd recommend, if you can't, just take that bath and then go from there and try and like slow down and be like post bath, like happy, calm person. Maybe also watch a show that gives you that inner child satisfaction. Like I'm rewatching a couple shows that I watched as a child, and I'm gaining a lot more clues about the programming that I received as a child, and also the positive stuff that I received as a child that formed my personality, but I didn't even realize that's what was the cause of that personality or that joke or whatever that I used to say. And so I'm also feeling like recommending that tactic to you. And I'm interested to hear what's coming to mind. Maybe it's a book series instead. Maybe you weren't into watching TV, but maybe reading books. And I would get back into that and re-engage with that energy, especially if it involved you as a young person engaging with this, and it inspired you then, and it was maybe one of your favorites, or you just always kind of think about it, or maybe you never even finished the book series, but you've always kind of wanted to. This is the energy I'm feeling, like it's time for that now. And you need to hold still and like stop moving so you can continue to receive your goodies. And that is the end of our reading. So thank you again for all of your support. And I appreciate being your reader. I really enjoy being your reader. So I look forward to your feedback as well. Let me know how this goes, and we'll be back on with the live streams and all the free content for everyone else that you're helping to sponsor. So thank you again. Looking forward to more creations in the future. All right. All right. So Sam is the last one. Dear source, may I please do reading for the mind, body, spirit complex of Sam? And that was super easy. Wow, that just like slid out. We had a couple like that today, but not like this. Wow, these are some good cards. Okay, lit. This is going to be a good reading. So I'm going to give you traditional cards first, and then I'm going to give you a tarot card about a crystal recommendation for your path, because I've been doing a lot more crystal healing. So I'm going to add that more into our personal sessions together. So the first card that I see is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of earthly things, the Knight of physical things, something that you've been waiting for a while, that you maybe thought was not going to happen, is going to happen, and it's coming. It's already arrived. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe it arrived this morning. Look how it blends into my background. That's so funny. I am the Knight of Pentacles. I could just like pretend to be, if I had like a horse, just be like, have my spear and just be like, here you go. Here's your pentacle. It's right here. I'm just going to give it to you. And good luck with your new riches of whatever it is. Good for you. Like that's going to be great. I see a little bunny hiding in here. So like a lot of fertility. This is the springtime energy as well. So whatever it is going to be coming in is going to be helping you in this springtime, and to have a very fruitful harvest in the summertime, fall time. Very good. My phone buzzed as confirmation on that one. So again, the psychic messages is just like That's what I feel. That's what I feel for you. Ah, of course. And now I want you to just be reminded that the emperor is you. You are the divine masculine as well as the divine feminine, but you are, I would say probably more engaged with in expressing energetically the divine masculine side of things. The emperor here is basically, he knows the cycles of all time and space. He knows the cycles of the sun, the moon, the stars, all of it. He's not caught off guard. He knows when is the right time and he knows how to make things successful. And that is now. So, whatever this is, this knight is also reminding you that, yes, look at your scepter with the whole like solar system on top of it. You're like, yes, I'm going to be making choices for the universe. And, you're going to be having that energy embodied. You are going to be having that support as well. So, like the great grandfather, the great father of the universe is on your side, helping you with your project, and it's going to work out. And it's going to work out so much so that you're going to have extra resources and time to give to those who aren't as skilled as you, who haven't achieved what you've achieved so far, because you've learned how to get to where you're at from other people who've been generous with their knowledge and their resources and their time. And so now it'll be your time to then be giving resources and time to people who are seeking help, seeking wisdom, seeking those resources like you once were. Even when you were a child, you can't feed yourself when you're a baby. Somebody has to have those overflowing resources to feed you. And it's now, in a way, your time to give back to the people around you, maybe even the people who fed you as a child, with your time and with your love and your resources. You don't have to give them all, but you will have a little something, like you can buy them a drink, or you can, buy somebody a car. Like, I don't know how much resources you're going to be getting out of this, but if you are the emperor, it seems like you're going to be doing well for yourself, and whatever this is going to work out good. So don't forget about the little people don't forget about the past you who needed a handout, who needed help. And don't forget those people who you see in your life that need that energy still, and who you genuinely, out of the love and inspiration of your heart, want to give your overflowing energy to support these beings who have maybe yet reached the level of accumulated wealth and security that you have through just age and experience and engaging with your divine masculine energy. So without further ado, let's see, Sam, what crystal I can recommend to you, and what crystal message we can get to basically just ease your way into receiving all of this goodies. What I just mentioned. So here we go. The first one that I got, I literally have with me right now. I have it with me all the time. Is one of my favorites, because an open heart is a happy heart, and that is the rose quartz. I was wearing this one as a necklace. But yes, rose quartz. I actually have multiple rose quartz. This one's been treated with like a titanium treatment. It's like angel aura rose quartz. So I need you to get a rose quartz, okay? And I need you to hold it all day and sleep with it, like all throughout your day. Just make it your new friend. If you have to wear it on a necklace, fine. But the more that you're physically touching it and it's going into your chi system directly through your hands, which is like one of the major areas of chi, and really your left hand is your receptive side. But if you need to like purge things out and just make them more loving, like make your outward energy more loving too, put it in your right hand. But you need to open up your heart, and rose quartz will help you with that. It will help you just soften your heart. All the things that maybe have hardened your heart in the past, where you're like, I can't even seem to get over this. It's okay, because that's what crystals were made for. Like, they will do the heavy lifting for you, because they embody that frequency that you're trying to remember and reach. But instead of trying to figure out what that is, they're already holding it for you. So you just go, oh, it's right here. And then you just hold it, and then you will accumulate that energy again in your heart space. So crystals are like the easiest medicine out there. So generous. And the next one that I have is agate, which is get back into balance. So some of the most common crystals to be able to find out there in crystal shops, if you don't have these guys, but agate comes in all different shapes or all different colors. But this is like a cross section of an agate. It's like a flat piece. You see all these little layers and so on. So basically, yes. So you need to open up your heart and get back into balance. And that is how you're going to ground your most powerful self, your most connected self, I should say. Get back into balance. Okay, so one way to get back into balance, I don't know if you work at a desk a lot, but I'm seeing literally getting back into balance, and a way that you can do that is get a exercise ball to sit on instead of a chair when you're at your desk, which is something I want to buy for myself. But it literally will, just balancing on this ball all day while you're at your desk is going to realign all of your spine. It's going to realign you physically, which can only allow realignment of everything else. To get to the physical suit first is pretty awesome, and it'll do the most healing for you and reach balance fastest. So sit on only an exercise ball. No, none of those like exercise balls with like holders that stop it from rolling around on the ground. Just a raw exercise ball where your legs are at like a 45 to like 90-degree angle, and only sit on that when you're working at a desk, and that will help you find balance in a physical way. And then in the other sense, finding balance will be achieved more with more submersion in water is what I'm getting as well. So natural water, as well as, you can take baths with some minerals in it that did come from nature, but try and submerge yourself in water that is naturally occurring on the earth, which maybe, I don't know where you live, so it may be hard, but if you can't, then buy some sea salt or like, salts for the bath. That'll give you some grounding as well, and put your crystals in the bath with you. That'll also help balance you. The only thing out of balance is your heart chakra. Then yeah, they just get that rose quartz and just fill your house with it and hold it. It doesn't even matter if it's around you as much as if it's when you're holding it. That's when you can have the real strength of the crystal. But yeah, that is the end of your reading. Thank you again for all of your continued support. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, all those riches and that balance and that love is all coming to you. So just a couple crystals and you're going to be right as rain. Like literally go buy an agate as another suggestion of finding your balance. Just hold agate and have agate around you and hold it in your hand. Like sleep with it in your hand and in your clothes and touching your skin. And it does amazing medicine. It's just like any other like pharmaceutical. It's really that good, except it's pure and it doesn't have any weird alternative motives, in my opinion. But yeah, that is the end. And that is the end for everybody. So if you've sat through this whole thing, thank you. And please do sign up for your own reading if this interests you. And yeah, I had to raise the prices for new signups because this group, maintaining this group, I actually raised the prices before I entered this group. And even that price range was not enough energetically for me to, I would say, be sustained by doing this as a service, like an extra service on top of what I do for free for everybody. And so I have had to raise the price again for new joiners, but it's not that high. And really the quality, like I said, the quality of these readings and the quality of my psychic ability is going up. And I've been practicing for 5 years, openly practicing for 5 years now. And I thought over that time, my stamina would go up, but it didn't so much go up. My skill went up and confidence went up, but my stamina didn't change very much, which was interesting to me. So it really showed me that what I am channeling through my body to maintain and do this psychic reading for people, that energy is going to be basically the same every time. So to get the compensation for that energy, I need to learn like what what energy exchange it is that I need in response for that. So you can get what you want and I can get what I need in return for that. So I'm not depleting myself just to help people, because that's not, you don't want your reader to be depleting themselves to help people. And so I have 8 people signed up, and I had to top it out at that because, again, I'm already depleting myself too much for this group, even though I did raise the price. So if anyone else wants to join, I have raised the price to a place where I feel more comfortable doing readings and adding more to my plate for. And so if you want that, I want you to have it. I want you to have it, but I'm going to need what I need in return for that. And it's all going to be going back into the free stuff that I do for Ascension Diaries and all the people who are new and learning about space weather and learning about psychic abilities and learning about consciousness and so on. So just a heads up. And for those of you who maybe are considering doing this as well, it does take a lot. It takes a lot to be able to work with people like this on this level and at this skill level. And so be sure not to shortchange yourself energetically for what you give, because you'll want to not do it anymore. Instead of being inspired to help more, you'll be scared to share your energy more, and you'll have to, yeah, it's an uphill battle. So I'm just trying to give some advice for people if you're watching this, to be sure not to undersell yourself energetically. And it's hard to know what is underselling yourself until you've actually put the energy in, and then you go, oh my God, that's like a whole grocery trip worth of energy that I just expended with this person, and I cannot afford a whole grocery trip from this. So now I'm going to be hungry, and this person got way more of my energy than, I was supposed to give them, basically. So it's an interesting aspect. Some people are better at that, I think, figuring that part out, but I'm just such a generous person, and my heart is very open to all of this, and I was very excited to do this work. I like what I do. I love live streaming. I love it more even than doing readings. And so I'm moving my energy more towards that and doing more free stuff for people, basically. But I don't know. If you have a fountain of overwhelming and happy energy to give, it's hard to resist doing it. And eventually that fountain will start to run dry, and then you'll be like, oh, shoot. Something's not quite right. So just thought I'd give you a heads up and some advice about that. I'm still working it out myself. But yes, I have changed things again. And so that option is available on my website. There's also a less expensive option for joining a group reading. So you can energetically give, and then the message that I give for the group will be technically and quantumly entangled with you. So it will be relevant to you in your life. So that's only $20 on my website. So it's just $20, and that energy is going to go again towards the blog and the live streams and new equipment upgrades as well, and as well as my rent and the needs that I have here in the corporeal realm, where I have clothes that I need to wear, and like I need to eat food and stuff like that, like those things. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you all again, and I will be seeing you at the next one.